Hello and welcome to Archer Custom Fabrication. I'm on site fabricating a difficult section of fence needed to cover off this overhanging piece beside the gate tower here at my client's place in Springbank, Alberta, Canada. I've preset a couple of mounts into the cement and tower at the end of the day prior, and from there I am on site fitting and fabricating the rest of this fence segment on the spot to ensure coverage and stability. As you can see, there's a lot to keep in mind. There's a steep drop off, which is very slippery today, and of course I'm aiming at creating stability and security as well as its overall looks. The challenge is to follow the contour of the landscape as closely as possible while ensuring a cohesive design that matches the rest of the fence sections. Here I am dressing off the end of the lower segment of fence before I locate and grind a flat spot into the rock so I can put one more vertical support posts in here. I'm just drilling it into the rock right now and setting some anchors and measuring to see the angle and length of this last vertical post. Once I have it cut, I am tacking it in here, and that is it for my vertical supports. I have this open space in the middle. It's a little too much for my liking, so I am going to create a piece that fits in there nicely, nice and level below the main support to cover off that open area. Now I'm adding in my vertical pickets that I have pre-cut at 66 inches. This is a 6-foot high fence. I'm using 3x2 horizontals, and those are 1.5 inch vertical pickets. So I'm using them to both be in the proper place, kind of final fit up. So what I'm doing now is tacking it in nice and level, and then once I have that, I'm going to use it to locate where my last horizontal mount to the tower is going to go. Everything's nice and level at this point, and I'm just marking, now grinding the rock flat in that area, and then I've got to create a last mount that we're going to screw into the tower to hold my 3x2 top horizontal. And here I've got it in. I'm measuring the last piece that goes all the way from the top to the bottom. It's 3x2. It's quite heavy, and this was a little precarious, I would have to say, in the weather as well as just working alone, trying to find the best way to do this safely. I ended up actually securing my ladder using a pipe clamp there to hold my ladder in a safe spot while I tacked this last section into place. Everything turned out really well. The hard part was making sure the measurement on the top was the same as the bottom, and luckily we got it first try.
Alright, that's the end of the on-site fab. Here's a close-up to all that work I just did. So why we were doing it in position here is because we have a bunch of things to factor in. We don't have a actual mounting spot to the tower, so we had to essentially do that for ourselves. We have some concrete anchors in here we utilized, double, just to make it nice and solid. That lower bar is just to fill the gap that's created there, and then we have it attached also to the rock here. And yeah, so that was the hard part, essentially, was to get it mounted correctly. It try to take up as much space as we can just for security and for looks, and that's what we've come up with. So I'll go back, get my trailer and some help, and I will come back and take this off of its mounts, take it back to the shop with me, and then I will fill the rest of the pickets, the vertical pickets, in and weld it up, finish it off, send it off to powder coat, and then we'll bring it back for the final install. There'll be some welding on the powder coated pieces just to make it a little easier for me on the install. But other than that, it will look as nice as the rest of the gate and the other fence sections that were done in shop and then put in before the rock on those towers. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little on-site fab. This one wasn't easy to do, so hopefully you learned a few things or maybe you got a few comments for me how to do it better. Obviously I could use some help, but it's still a small business here, and we're trying to save a few bucks so we can put that money into new equipment and to upgrade, and eventually we'll have some people helping me with all these jobs. Anyway, take care, happy new year. All right, bye now.